Doom Eternal. This game is an easy 10 out of 10 for me, filled with an array of music, enemies, secrets, and environments. The only thing I don't like about it is that the campaign is too short. I beat it in a few days, and I thought there was going to be more, but it wasn't too long. I know there's DLC coming soon, so that definitely helps out. There are a lot of aspects and details about this game that make it flawless that I want to talk about. And usually I split it into categories like the demons, bosses, mechanics, environments, stuff like that. But I wanted to do something a little bit differently. The flow of this video is going to be directed by some terrible reviews on Doom Eternal. And hopefully this goes smoothly. I've never done this before, and yeah, cool. So without further ado, fellow friends and family, my name is Josh, also known as Gorguini, and I hope you enjoy the video. Do you want Unreal Tournament 2003 but made for ages 5 to 11? Then have I got the POS for you. Welcome to Doom Eternal, where everything you loved about the glorious Doom 2016 has been promptly removed. Do you like ammo? Too bad. Do you like beating demons to death with your bare hands? Too bad. Do you like realistic graphics and immersive gameplay? Here's a 90s cartoon arcade shooter. Do you like doing chores that include doing the same repetitive actions for 15 hours? Perfect. We also hope you didn't want the confusingly told story explained to you without having to read a novel. Welcome to Halo Meets 343. Honestly, I never write reviews for games, but Doom Eternal disappointed me so much I felt obligated to warn others who may have been just as hyped as I was to avoid this game. And honestly, just a quick YouTube video of what happens, blah 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 blah. 666 out of 10 did not enjoy. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. You clearly gave it a high score, I don't know. Great! No ammo, just like all other shooter/zombie games. That's highly irritating. Maybe I'll punch my way to the end of this game, laugh my butt off. Gay! So there are a lot of reviews that are complaining about how ammo is scarce in the game and how you have to chainsaw every 30 seconds, which you have every right to your opinion. In no way am I bashing that, but we can agree to disagree. From my personal perspective, the waves of demons and finding the weaker ones to chainsaw is really fun and is not at all in any way annoying or repetitive. It's a cycle that you must get used to. I do agree with some reviews where at some points during combat, I'm flying around trying to find the fodder demons to collect ammo and health. I get that. But they miss the fact that it takes 2 seconds for that to occur, and they go right back to the action. Shooting demons relentlessly and performing gruesome glory kills in Doom Eternal is fantastic, and I see nothing wrong with it. It's definitely different, but not in a bad way. Only a couple missions in, but I can already tell that I don't like this as much as Doom 2016. The enemies above the imps feel twice as spongy and eternal. In the first 2 missions, you only have 2 guns and a chainsaw. This leaves you constantly low on one kind of ammo or another. Plus, the standard melee seems to no longer damage any enemies, but just bump them 2 feet backwards. I also cannot stand the tentacles. The only reason for them to exist is to waste chainsaw gas and scare players. It's a Doom game. It should be above such a dumb stunt. I'm playing on easy mode just to get a feel for it, and it feels like medium from Doom 2016. I can definitely agree. I do not like hentai in any shape or form, and the tentacles are not that great. But I do want to address something. What's with everyone comparing Doom 2016 to Doom Eternal? Like, I get it, they're both from the same franchise, but any type of comparison, and this is a life lesson, by the way, any type of comparison, it either makes them both look bad or one of them look awful. Don't compare yourself to each other, and don't compare other games to each other, because it never works out. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan, but I don't compare Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate to Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And although both have extensive differences, they're very different. You can argue Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 are in the same boat, as in they're both very different. Doom Eternal introduces ice bombs and the flame belch for you to gather armor, as well as dashing, so you now have more movement, a way to freeze the action if it becomes overwhelming, and you can now replenish some of your armor. And again, chainsawing is not that hard to do. I really don't see what's wrong. From my perspective, I don't mind it. This game feels unpolished. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I thought the delay would fix issues. Now I'm trying to get a refund. Worst part is the combat. Now every medium-sized enemy requires special weapon choices and weak spots to take down. Just becomes a grind after a short time, constantly cycling to replenish armor, ammo, or health. Hard to explain, but I guess small changes can throw off gameplay. Graphics took a big hit. Cartoony feels like the right word. The enemy graphics are also just worse. Feels like this should be Doom 2013. V also made the wrong stylistic choices, changing items like keycards and weapons to 1995 floating icons, a step to less immersive gameplay. Okay, that part I do agree with, definitely. The really glowy floating icons, I get it, it's not as immersive, but I honestly don't see a big difference, you know? It's indifferent for me. But I looked through some videos of Doom 2016, especially comparison videos of the demons and such, and I don't know how you guys feel, but from what I can tell, Doom Eternal graphics-wise looks better. Yes, they are very similar, I'm not ignoring that, but I don't see how it's cartoony. It's very realistic, if honestly. Besides the ammo and armor pickups, I get it, and there are multiple reviews saying the same thing, which I honestly don't see at all. Okay. I don't know if you guys heard that, but my dad just went nuts. He's watching soccer right now, and he's... But anyways, okay, listen. I just bought Doom 2016. It was on sale for $10, really good price, and I played for quite a bit. I would say an hour and a half. I'm kind of... I don't know how long the game is, but I played enough to know what it's like, and honestly, I get it. I know where people are... I definitely see where people are coming from. Doom 2016 is more scary, and the lighting makes it look like these are actual demons from hell. It feels like a horror game, almost. And Doom Eternal only feels like that in certain parts like Necroval, the City of the Damned, and other parts definitely do feel like an arcade, so I understand where the people are coming from, but again, comparing the two I still personally think is not a great idea. Both have their own style and appeal. Though I will say, when it comes to my preparation, is that even a word? I don't know. What I prefer, the tone and the scary atmosphere of Doom 2016, I like it more than Doom Eternal. Much more, actually. So I will give you guys that for sure. As for the complaints about the combat being too complex for you, I mean, that's what makes it amazing for me and why it defeats Doom 2016, through mechanics at least. Sure, running out of ammo can be pretty annoying, but the well-executed idea of balancing your flaming belch for armor and chainsaw for ammo is awesome, and I find that it adds to the challenge better than just a spray and pray idea where you don't have to worry about ammo. See, that would be boring. The combat has vastly improved in Eternal, and there is so much to juggle, I get that. Yes, but that's what makes it such a good first-person shooter, because after a couple missions, once you learn how to control it all, it becomes such a great experience. Also, yeah, some demons have specific weak points, like the Monkey have their arm cannons, and the Doom Hunter has a shield that can be taken down with a plasma rifle in an easier manner. I mean, adding weak points makes it easier, makes it more complex, but you don't have to focus on those points if you don't want to. I've killed plenty of demons without utilizing their weaknesses. It's not a necessity. The game mechanics is basically, from my perspective, the cornerstone of Doom Eternal, and some reviews are saying that the developers are enforcing a certain way of playing the game, which I get it, because they introduced the Flaming Belch and Ice Bomb and Dashing, and they want you to use that, but like, in no way is there not allowed creativity. I can use the Flaming Belch, and I can use the Dashing, the Ice Bombs. I can use them in whatever way I want to. There's a specific use for them, yes, but when it comes to what time I want to use it, when I need to use it, that's up to you, you know? Excessive platforming, not enough resources, Marauders suck, forced to use certain gear instead of killing demons the way I want to. Bethesda and ID Software took away freedoms of combat and replaced it with more movement options, which you can use in combat, which is not something I want from a Doom game, and is something that oftentimes makes the game feel like a rhythm-based chore, where you have to dodge, shoot, dodge, chainsaw, etc., because the Doomslayer is made out of wet tissues and has no ammo for whatever reason. Level design is this game's strong suit, but as previously mentioned, there is too much platforming. Edit. That being said, I can't put it down. Raising from 2 stars. Alright, buddy. Way too much jumping and puzzles. You developers should be fired for this terrible Doom version. The last Doom was way better. 4 people found this helpful. There are also a lot of reviews saying that there's too much platforming in Eternal, and say what you will, I find it as a decent way of having breaks in between the action. If it was constant shooting from start to finish, I would have no problem with that. No, I wish I could speak English. But having platforming and small puzzles in between is just as good for me as well. This also gives me the chance to take in the environment and to admire what the game has to offer graphics-wise. I mean, let's go back to this review to the part where he says the Marauder sucks, because I do want to talk about that, because I 100% agree with that. I get it. They wanted more challenging demons to face in the game, maybe. But this guy is too much, man. Like, apparently, the Marauder can just pop a shield whenever he wants to and protect himself from grenades, ice bombs, the flaming belch, the crucible, which, by the way, is a one-hit melee weapon. It's a cool-looking sword. And even the BFG. Like, okay, Captain America. Like, the Marauder's cool, but his fighting style takes away from the flow of the game, where you have to find such a tight window to counterattack that are only done at mid-range. Too close and he shotguns, too far and he throws projectiles. And he also has the power of summoning these annoying wolves that are so elusive and fast, and I hate them. It makes him really annoying overall. If there was no wolf, he would be much better. Like, 10 times better. I like the design of the Marauder, but fighting him is not too much fun. So sad. So sad. Very disappointed. The franchise has died and become a pale shadow of its former self. Jeez. I mourn the passing of such a great generation of gaming. This game was made to appeal to a generation of little kids. Little kids. Let me read that again. This game was made to appeal to a new generation of little kids. Game looks like every other Battle Royale game that's already been done the past few years. Shame on you for bait and switching the original fan base that helped it become as popular as it did. Okay. The only thing I can say about this review is that it's not a Battle Royale, so moving on. It's gross. Do not get this game. Oh my gosh. This is 2020, not 2000. If they were trying to get retro or something, they should have just done a different game entirely. The game gives you weapons right off the bat, make you do let's look look at crappy tutorials that hold your hand, gives you extra lives? Question? No? Question? Doom 2016 was not like that. If you died, you died. Very cartoony game. The music is trash, and the demon designs are not creative. 2016 Doom had cool, bad-looking demons, but Eternal? Nope. Overall, do not get this game. Save yourself $60 to get something better, honestly. Okay, here's the thing, right? If the game is too easy for you, raise the difficulty. Or just don't collect the extra lives. You're not entitled to collect all the extra lives. You don't have to. Go to Ultra Nightmare and have only one life. There is so much flexibility in this game when it comes to how hard you want it. That's what she said. As for the extra lives, yes, it does make the game easier. I'm not ignoring that. But by no means does it make it too easy. The intensity between the ranged demons like the Revenants and the Monkeybites shooting from afar and having strong melee demons in my face like the Hell Knight, which I really hate. I don't like him. He's annoying. But anyways, it's more of enough of a challenge for me. Not to mention balancing armor, health, and ammo. I'm gonna keep on mentioning it because a lot of people hate it, but I find it cool, okay? I play on Ultraviolence, by the way, and I struggle a bit at some points, but if it gets too easy, I'll upgrade it to Nightmare, and my problem is solved. As for the music sucking, I mean, that's entirely subjective, and I really can't say anything about that. And I actually agree somewhat due to the fact that I like Doom 2016's track better than Eternal's. With that, I should say the best tracks are from Eternal, but as a majority, 2016 wins. Needless to say, I've played a bunch of games in my gaming career, in my gaming history, in my gaming past, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I've played Shadow of the Colossus. I've played Monster Hunter 3 Try all the way to Iceborne. I've played Doom Eternal. I played Shrek Super Slam. I've played Super Smash. I've played a lot of games, okay? My point is that I've played a vast amount and a variety of games with different types of soundtracks. And Doom Eternal has a very unique soundtrack because I don't really hear a lot of metal in other soundtracks in video games, and I find that very unique. So when it comes to a fresh new soundtrack, I like Doom. I like Doom in general when it comes to its music. I'm not even a big fan of metal or that type of intensity in music, but when it comes to smashing demons in the face, it works, and I like it. And then we move on. As for the demon designs being boring, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that a vast majority of demons in 2016 are in Eternal. I will give credit though. There are three I can't say that word. There are three circumstances where I can agree. The Monkey, the Revenants, and the Soldiers are better designed in 2016. But as far as the rest of the demons in this game, they look really awesome. As someone who's currently studying creature and character design along with art fundamentals, I can appreciate almost all the designs in Doom Eternal. Some of my favorites being the Carcass. Yes, I actually like this old saggy mandroid. The Baron of Hell, which was also in 2016. They just made it, more. Moving on. Cue Ball, the Archvile, however you want to pronounce it. And then they have the Gladiator, the Con Maker. There's so many. And my absolute favorite being the Tyrant, or the Cyber Demon as it was named in previous installments. And this is just to name a few. The vast variety of demon designs makes this game phenomenal, and with all having different strengths and weaknesses, it makes the game fresh and fun for each encounter you find. I don't understand where the demon designs are trash, even though, the ones from 2016 were brought into Eternal, and they're pretty much the same. Honestly, they should have kept it like Doom 2016 version. It felt like an arcade game. I want to see gore, mutilation, hell. These are supposed to be demons from hell. PG-13 much? I wasted money on this. Well, first off, I want to say that this game is rated M. I'm just going to put that out there. And there is a lot of gore and mutilation in this game without a doubt. You want to know why games like Mortal Kombat stick out from other fighting games? It's because of the sheer gore of the fatalities. Doom Eternal is very gruesome, not only in its gameplay, but if you stop and look at certain environments, they can be pretty intense too. The superior tone of Doom 2016 definitely helps out with the seriousness of the gore and stuff, but I find that Doom Eternal has better glory kills than 2016. At least from my perspective. You can say what you want. Okay, so this is part of a review, but I'm just focusing on the pros. Good, but not great. The pros. Engaging combat loop that encourages you to use the right tools for the right times and target the right spots. Large levels packed with optional content and reward exploration. Beautiful scenery, visually gorgeous looking, and varied environments. This is what really sold the game for me. One of my favorite games of all time is Shadow of the Colossus, and for those of you who don't know the game, look it up. It's really good. It is one of the most visually pleasing games ever. Doom Eternal is another gorgeous game with a variety in its environment. From the Super Gore Nest to Urdak to Mars Core, this game has more than enough for the player to indulge in with their eyes. But by far my most favorite place in this game is, of course, Necroval, the City of the Damned. This is one of the few places that captures the brutality and beauty of what Doom actually is. And to see this interpretation of hell is absolutely inspiring for me. As soon as you start the mission, you are greeted by a chained titan crying lava from his eyes. Alright, starting off good. Surrounding the same area, you have multiple bodies being impaled by spikes and even what looks like to be some sort of torture machine on the outside of the city. You want blood and gore? Visit Necroval. But by far, one of the most creepiest and best places of the environment are the walls of corpses and bloody humans within cages, desperately reaching out for freedom. Even within the crevices, there are countless amount of bodies stuffed into the walls. The Soul Factory in the city is also a fantastic landmark. The huge skulls, the souls entering the stream of energy, and rows of bodies on the walls is mesmerizing. That's what the Doom franchise does exceptionally well as a whole, and that is the environment. You can argue that this game is more of an arcade style, but standing in the city of the damned, where the majority of the human population is being tortured and extracted for their souls to fuel other being of mortal power, is mind-blowing to say the least. To wrap up this whole review / discussion, let me put up one more good review for the game. There's so many words. No, don't worry. I'm going to summarize it. Yes, there are some definite differences between Eternal and 2016, but clearly all of them are for the better. Combat is even more visceral, and while it may at first feel the game is forcing you into a certain playstyle, it's actually giving you more of a control on how to manage resources. Need armor? Cook 'em. Health? Stab 'em. Ammo? Saw 'em. It's so straightforward, but very satisfying at the same time. Doom Eternal initially was a turnoff for me. However, after playing a few hours and getting the hang of the combat loop, as well as getting much needed upgrades and some very interesting codex entries, everything started to click. The story felt more cohesive, and while there is a bit missing in the gap between 2016 and Eternal, much of it is filled in and then some. You get used to recharging the chainsaw, so ammo's never an issue, and while I still miss the realistic weapon pickups from 2016, I understand why they changed it. And while it may at first feel the game is forcing you into a certain playstyle, it's actually giving you more of a control on how to manage resources. You have to play smarter. I will say, no spoilers, they really fleshed out the lore of Doom and made it far more interesting in my honest opinion. Much of it is implied and hidden in the codex entries, but it actually makes the occurrences of Doom 2016 much bigger and interesting. I thought they did an amazing job with the story / lore. Of course, this wouldn't be a Doom review without also mentioning Mike Gordon's stunning soundtrack once again, that makes you miss shots due to headbanging. I mean, that single post pretty much sums it up. And for those who have and are still playing Doom Eternal, I highly encourage you guys to post in the comment section down below what you think of the game, and if you thought it was better or worse than you expected. And of course, if you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to like and to subscribe for more content like this. But until then, my friends, my name is Josh, also known as Gorguini, and I'll see you in the next video.